Hi everybody, I'm coming to you live from my backyard. As you can see, a little bit of a different thing going on here. There's the backyard, the basketball court, the back door of the house, kind of the fun area. The area that I'm kind of usually chilling out at when I'm not doing important stuff. Sitting across from me is my wonderful woman Jennifer. Hey baby.
Hi babe.
And we have a small announcement to make. It seems that the both of us have at some point contracted corona.
We got the Rona.
We did. We both in the last 24 hours have tested positive for coronavirus.
Yep.
The good news is we both feel pretty good. I mean, I was, a little bit of background, I was not feeling very well on Monday, and I kind of blamed it on the fact that the Derailed podcast went kind of late. And usually when the podcasts go kind of late, I'm a little run down on Mondays. So I didn't really think much of it. But Tuesday and Wednesday, my sinuses were just beating my ass. And I actually called off work Wednesday, which, if you know me at all, I don't ever call off work. I never, ever call off work. But I felt terrible Tuesday night at work. I didn't know if I was going to make it through the day. So before that, I'd already set up a test for Friday just to make sure, even though I wasn't showing any of the symptoms at all of COVID. So I went ahead and set up a test thinking, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and clear it all up, make sure it's not COVID to set everybody at ease. But I took the test on Friday, and I had to wait 24 hours to get results back. And then Friday night at work, kind of spontaneously over the course of about 20 minutes or so, I realized I was losing my sense of taste, which is, of course, one of the symptoms of COVID. And so I said, hey, it's time for me to go home. I cannot be at work right now if this is going to be the case. And then, of course, really just, a half hour, 45 minutes ago,
Yeah.
they texted me my test results, and yes, I have tested positive for COVID, and over the course of today, Jennifer herself tested positive for COVID.
Yep. But I can still taste and smell.
But she can still taste and smell. I, unfortunately, cannot, which is terrible. But ultimately, other than that, I mean, we're all feeling fine. I actually feel a lot better today than I have over most of the last week, just a little bit tired. Yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm really not that worried about it at all. Like I said, I've been steadily taking the vitamin D and the vitamin C and making sure that, I've actually, the last, 24 hours, I've shed about 4 or 5 pounds, but I'm down about 20 now over the course of the last several months. So I've been shedding a little bit of weight and just trying to eat a little bit healthier and making sure my immune system's ready to go just in case something like this were to go down. And now here we are. It went down. As far as how I feel right now, throat's still a little scratchy. I had a bit of a cough for a couple of days. It's still a little scratchy. My sinuses are feeling a lot better. A little tired, but for the most part, I'm feeling pretty normal, and I'm not really worried about anything serious happening. Jennifer's a bit pissed off.
Little bit.
A little bit.
Little bit.
Because she specifically lives a very busy lifestyle with her daughter being in cheerleading and Girl Scouts and all kinds of other things. So there's a lot of stuff to work, a lot of schedules to be dealt with that. But yeah, I mean, we're working that out. As far as the kids are concerned, my stepdaughter, Jennifer's daughter, we've already tested her and she's tested negative. She's been shuffled off to her dad's house where she's going to stay until we get through this thing. And my oldest son that lives with me, Keegan, he's actually supposed to be house sitting for my parents when they go south to visit some relatives anyway. So he's going to be out of the house. He's just going to be leaving a couple days early. So it's really just me and her stuck in the house doing whatever. So there's going to be a lot of, ordering pizza and, ordering some groceries through DoorDash and stuff like that because we can't get out.
A lot of bonding time for us.
Yeah, a lot of bonding time. Yeah, me and Jennifer are going to spend a lot of time together. Hopefully we don't strangle each other. But the good news is, however, is I can still do Derailed. I can still do my show. I may even do something like what Drew did when he had his little strike problem with YouTube. He did the strike sessions. I may do some quarantine sessions and just kind of do some random stuff every day for the course of the next week or so, or until we get through this thing. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we're at right now. Is we just we've contracted COVID, but we both feel pretty good right now. Jennifer's not really feeling, she's pretty much asymptomatic right now.
I have a headache that I can't get rid of, and I got a little bit of a cough, but other than that, I'm fine.
Yeah, so we're not doing bad. I mean, all things considered, compared to how some other people have been hit with this thing, then yeah, we're pretty fortunate. But again, that's why, I've been saying, take the vitamin D, get your immune system prepared, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Don't rely on a vaccine. Don't rely on a bunch of bullshit that millions of other people are going to tell you. Take care of yourself first and foremost, do what you got to do to make yourself better. That's what we've been doing. We've been trying to protect ourselves from this thing, just kind of making sure we've been a little bit healthier the last year or so. And, you know, here's the test that we didn't want to have to go through, but we're both pretty confident right now.
As I sit here eating BW3.
Yeah. As she's shoving hot wings down her face because she's like, whatever, I can't go to the store to get groceries like we were planning on doing today. So we may as well just order B-dubs.
DoorDash.
So DoorDash it was. But it's going to work out pretty good for me because I haven't mowed my lawn in 2 weeks, so I need to mow the yard. Yeah, it's giving me a chance to do stuff around the house. So, yeah, and like I said, it'll be cool to be able to go online pretty much every night for the next week and do some kind of small thing. But, you know, we'll see. But nothing's going to stop me from going on Derailed tomorrow night. I don't imagine I'll be able to infect anybody over the internet.
I don't know.
Not that I'm not going to try. I'm going
to
spit at my camera and hope that it infects every one of you guys. But yeah, other than that, I feel fine. I mean, maybe a little bit dehydrated, but I've been drinking plenty of water and stuff like that just to keep up. I'm still taking my vitamins, still, you know, trying to eat a little bit right. I kind of cheated today and went ahead and had some pizza from one of my favorite pizza places
that he couldn't taste.
That I couldn't taste, which was very disappointing. But you know, ultimately, I mean, like I said, I'm not really tripping that much about it. You know, been taking care of myself, vitamin D, trying to get ready for whatever might come, and it showed up. And I'm going to beat it. Like I said, I feel a lot better today than I had, ironically enough. I feel a lot better today than I had been over most of the last week. But
yeah, you were pretty rough earlier in the week. You looked like you were ready to take it down.
Yeah, I was. I do not ever get sick.
No.
I get the flu once every couple of years. I get the flu, and it kind of like bothers me for a day or two.
Yeah, but this was different.
And then once every about 10 years, I get the flu to the point where it puts me in bed for 2 or 3 days. But I haven't had that happen for a long time.
No, not since we've been together.
Yeah, not for a long time. So part of me thinks I'm kind of due for something like that. But yeah, for me to call off work, I've got to feel like absolute ass. And I know Monday and Tuesday Monday I didn't feel very good. Tuesday I went to work just feeling like absolute hell. I was very surprised that I made it through the night. And I even told him as I was leaving, I said, don't plan on having me tomorrow because if I feel like this in the morning when I wake up, I probably shouldn't be here. Again, I wasn't having any of the COVID symptoms.
No, just sinus more.
Yeah.
Maria had the sinus infection.
Yeah, and our friend Robbie was having the similar problems.
Yeah.
It was all sinuses with him, and I was taking sinus medications that were helping a lot. So I just figured that's what it was. But again, I scheduled the COVID test just to kind of cover all the bases. And I went and took the test Friday around noon.
Yeah.
And thinking to myself, okay, I don't have any of the symptoms. It's probably going to come back negative, but whatever. I just want to make sure I have that negative test in my pocket in case I need it. And then I went to work last night, just a few hours after taking the test, and then, slowly started to lose my taste. And I was like, well, that's pretty terrible. So, yeah, after I took the test is when I started showing symptoms. And I bailed work immediately. I was like, yeah, I can't deal with customers and other coworkers and stuff like that, knowing what I know. And yeah, then over the course of the night, my taste and my sense of smell left, which is disappointing, but whatever. So that's the big announcement. Jennifer and I have both contracted COVID somehow. I'm actually really surprised that I didn't contract it a long fucking time ago.
You're out with the public more too than I am.
Yeah, because Jennifer and I have both been pretty fortunate throughout this entire pandemic thing to be considered essential workers.
Yeah.
So we haven't had to deal with financial problems of not being able to work and stuff like that. So we've been very, very fortunate. But at the same time, I have not, because of my job, I have not really had an opportunity to cut down interacting with a lot of people every day. But, like I said, I was taking the vitamin D. I was trying to, take measures not to be directly involved or in too much contact with other people. Not really going out much except to go to the movies here and there, and even then I tend to go to the movies earlier in the day when there's going to be smaller crowds anyway.
Yeah.
So I just kind of naturally avoid crowds. But like I said, where I got it, I have no idea. Like I said,
we have no idea.
I've dealt with people this entire pandemic, and I honestly thought about a year ago or so I had a touch of the flu, and it kind of came and went in about a day. But I kind of wondered if maybe that was me getting it and I fought it off early and then just got through it, and maybe that's why I hadn't had any problems until then.
But that was before the actual pandemic hit, because we all got sick.
It was early. It was early in the pandemic because I was still at Domino's. But yeah, and I left work that night because I was kind of feverish. The next day I felt fine. So I thought maybe I had kind of caught a touch of it then and blew past it and was already done with it, even though I never got tested or diagnosed with anything. Apparently I was wrong. Apparently it was just the regular old stupid flu. And yeah, so I kind of thought that I had gotten lucky on that note and just kind of beat it early. But no.
Not so much.
Yeah, at some point I came in contact with somebody who had it. I have no idea who or when, but like I said, we are busy people. I mean, I'm busy at work dealing with a lot of people, and Jennifer is busy doing all kinds of stuff. The good news is that Jennifer can continue to work. She works from home anyway.
Yeah.
The bad news is I cannot. So
Nope.
so that's all right. I mean, I'm going to be making the arrangements on Monday to get with my doctor and figure out, schedule another test and all that and see if there's any other treatment I should do, but I really don't think I'm going to. I would love to be able to go the full Joe Rogan treatment and get the, throw the kitchen sink at all of it in the kitchen sink. But yeah, I'm not going to do all that. I really don't feel like that's necessary for me. But for one, I don't have $1 million to go to a doctor anyway. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that, we're going to end up okay on the other end of this thing. So yeah, the good news is there's probably going to be a few extra live streams coming up over the course of the next week. The bad news is I'll be doing it with with the mask on the YouTube somewhere. So, but yeah, so that's the big announcement is that Jennifer and I have both contracted COVID-19.
I at least know where I got it from.
She probably got it from me.
My significant other.
She got it from me. she got it from me. Where I got it from, who the hell knows?
We don't know.
Like I said,
Yeah.
it could have been somebody I deal with at work, could have been a customer, it could have been, something I touched along the way. I really don't know. Not that it's really all that important, but
No.
that's just the way it is. But yeah, that's the big announcement. I don't think it's going to change much of anything on the channel. So I mean, really, the only thing that's going to change for us is I'm going to get a week off work, which kind of sucks. I don't like missing money, but whatever.
He really doesn't. He fights it tooth and nail.
I go to work sick.
Tooth and nail.
I go to work sick. I would rather go to work sick and leave early because I'm not feeling well than just call off. I want to at least show up.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is kind of a different thing. I mean, I don't have to remind you guys any of the numbers. I mean, we're looking at 700,000 people dead from this thing in the U.S.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to end up one of those statistics, but at the same time, I don't want to risk infecting anybody else that might not be as fortunate as I am, and Jennifer is with having fairly decent health. So yeah, so we're going to be in the house, just me and her, for at least the next week, or until we can get a couple of negative COVID tests.
Negative tests.
Yeah, however long that takes. So with any luck, that will not be too long.
Hopefully.
So anyway, that's that. If you guys have any questions, yeah, Twitter, you guys want to get a hold of me. And of course, tomorrow night I'll be on Derailed with Drew. So I'm sure this will probably be one of the things that gets discussed. But yeah, that's pretty much that. So thanks for hanging out and listening to mine and Jennifer's TED Talk about how I gave her COVID.
Gave me the Rona.
I gave her the coronavirus.
The coronavirus.
And we will see you guys soon.
Bye.
Adios.